happy. Welcome to the Colorful Homeschooler podcast, where we parlay on productivity, personality, passions, education, and theory. I'm a lover of Jesus, a wife of 20 years, and a homeschool mama of 4 special needs boys who keep me constantly active. I'm so glad you're here to join me. Pull up a chair. There's space for you at this table. Hi there, friends. I'm so glad to be back with you for another week. Which of you has begun school already? Who's still gearing up? Who schools year-round? I bet we'd get a fair smattering of each type in my listeners. All are, of course, valid. I myself haven't begun yet. I have been working hard getting everything ready, putting finishing touches on curriculum, scheduling things, working out how the day is going to go. I reorganized my entire library, emptied out all of these school bins that I have, some filled with crayons and pencils, others with papers, things like that, and went through all of them. I have to relabel them still, but almost done. I'm on my way. We have a soft start in a week, and then we fully begin on the Tuesday after Labor Day. I was raised in New York, so that's the school schedule I grew up with, and I'm sticking with it. I like having a full 3 months for summer. So I wanted to tackle a big topic at the outset of most homeschool years. If you're a year-rounder, this still applies, I promise. After I felt like this was the next topic I wanted to speak on, I came up with a number of lies that I myself have struggled with over my years of homeschooling. I then wrote a few other ladies who have been actively homeschooling for a long time. These are also good Christian women who are working hard to give their children an amazing education whilst also bringing them up to love and serve the Lord and fulfill His calling for their lives. The lies they sent back to me were so alike, I recognize what a giant issue this is for us as homeschoolers. So first, what do I mean by a lie we believe as homeschoolers? Well, a lie is an untruth, right? But these are usually so believable, so wrapped in facts or fears that they entrench themselves in our hearts and grow deep roots. We no longer recognize where they came from or why we even believe them. They are just part of the makeup of our thoughts. They turn into a small whisper that chases us around on the hard days, and it only hides for a brief moment when our days are sunny once more. These can be beliefs that started out totally okay, but have now morphed and grown into something unhealthy and hurtful to us. They may have started out as something said with the best of intentions by someone who you totally trust, but the devil took it and evolved it into something that darkens your view of God and makes you question your calling. I know each of you has fallen prey to some of these, so let's detail them. Let's get them out in the open and start the conversation. I don't think I'll hit on all of them, but I know I've got some behemoths here. Hopefully you can hear these and, number 1, realize that it's a lie. Number 2, realize you aren't the only one who has fallen victim to it. And then number 3, give it to the Lord and root it out of your heart to live in freedom from this drowning demon. All right, here we go. The first lie that I heard multiple times from other moms and fell prey to myself is that every other homeschooler is doing it better than you. Or said another way, everyone else is getting all of the things done while you can barely cover the minimum. Whew. How soul-killing to believe this. How devastating. What a failure it makes one feel like. And you will find a ton of evidence to support this lie. I know that I have. Well, that family speaks 3 languages. That family all plays in a worship band together. That family, they know all of the art periods and the artists who go with them. Well, that one's read all the Shakespeare plays. Their children just performed Macbeth because they wanted to. Right? You can come up with your own list. Come on, ladies. This is the Instagram view of the world. You're comparing your worst day with their best to find this evidence. Check out my episode number 12 on the comparison trap. Reality check, that family whose children speak 3 languages, that mom hasn't figured out how to keep her children from crying during math lessons. She's tried 4 curriculums, and they all end up the same. She feels like she's drowning also. The family who all play in the worship band together, none of them can kick a ball, and they haven't done a science experiment all year. The ones who knew all of the artists and time periods, They actually hate looking at the art and really just want to be able to draw a silly donkey cat. But their mom feels like this is the only thing she's winning at, so she doesn't know how to put it aside. And the one who knows every Shakespeare play? Her son had to spend a week in an inpatient facility because of his depression. All of these are just speculations, but that's the point. No one has it all together. No one goes through 12 years of homeschooling for one child without having some years that they feel like they are just surviving and barely keeping their heads above rising waters. Recognize that the school system of the United States believes that 70% of the curriculum completed by year's end is adequate. 70%. And they don't add in any life learning or summer experiences. Now, I'm not saying we need to compare ourselves with the school system we're taking our children out of, but recognize nationwide 70% is considered enough. And we do way more than that. See you're good. Shoot to improve that which keeps you down. And remember, no one, not a single person, is doing it perfectly. Not a single person is doing it all. No one. Never. Please hear me. Hear me. The second lie I want to address is, and this was one of my favorites, your kids will always love homeschooling. No, this is not true at all. But I've read all of the homeschooling books and watched 1,000 Instagram or TikTok videos. Those kids are so happy. They love their mom teaching them. They probably wake her up by bringing her coffee, and then they read the Bible together, and they tell her how thankful they are that she just gave up her dreams to homeschool them for 1,250 years. Okay, I say that all in jest, but don't we have this vision of others' homeschools that's similar? The kids loving it, I mean. So I'll be frank and honest and vulnerable with you. There were years where my oldest was yelling at me for him being homeschooled. Then eventually he would come around and realize that whatever problem he was lamenting wasn't due to homeschooling, but a character issue or being a teen or just life. But homeschooling, it's an easy punching bag for our kids, an easy thing to cast their blame upon when something is hard. And your kids will probably use it. So no. Kids do not always love homeschooling. Sometimes they actually think they hate it. But at the end of the road, on graduation day, I got a huge thanks from my boy and verbal recognition of all the work that I put in. That, yes, friends, that made it worth it for that boy. You know I'm brutally honest with you. I was told several times how much they hated homeschooling, how angry they were at me for quote-unquote doing this to them. And yet, in the end, a huge thanks and recognition. And let's address the elephant in the room. We are raising our children. We have to know what's best for them. So giving them a choice at 13, 14 years old to choose whether or not they want to be homeschooled for a certain portion. Now, they can give their input, but the choice should not rest with them. It should rest with prayer, and it should rest with the parents. We are the ones to prayerfully guide these little people that are not ours into the fullness of who they are supposed to be with the Lord. And schooling represents a lot of that. So you make the decision. Recognize that they will struggle with it sometimes, but it is yours to prayerfully decide, you and your spouse, to decide what is right for your child, just like everything else. You are the parent. You are the one that the Lord has placed in decision-making power. Use it with love always, but you should be the final decision. Okay, are you feeling any freer yet? Is there a weight lifting? I really hope so. Please let it be. Lie 3. You have to be super patient and have total respect from your child for success. Said another way, you need to love being with your children. So this one's hysterical to me. This is more perpetuated by non-homeschoolers by phrases such as, oh, I could never do that. My daughter doesn't respect me enough. Or I couldn't homeschool my son. He and I don't totally get along. sheepish smiles, huffed laughter. Sometimes I don't know what to say to this. There are also the other homeschool moms who don't want to go to conferences because they need to leave their kids for the weekend. Yeah, not me. I'm like, sign me up. Where's the bus? How do I leave for a weekend? No, my kids and I do not always get along. No way, far from it. I mean, I'm an adult, so I have to control my emotions, but there have been vast periods of time that I do not like one or more of my kids. If they were not my kids, there have been times I probably would not have been friends with them during that period. Now, I've got neurodivergent pubescent hormones in my house, and I, as a person, am relatively non-confrontational. I tend to shut down and withdraw from large outbursts of emotions. So, not the greatest mix at all times. Does this mean I can't homeschool? No. It means that the Lord will work out mine and my children's character flaws simultaneously. It means that I will be the one walking my children through these tough times, not someone else, or a cold, unfeeling school system where my child is a number and could be labeled with ugly labels. He can feel free to release his emotions, and he doesn't have to mask all day. And I learn ever more how to lean on the Lord more fully for support every day. So no, you do not have to have total respect from your child or be super patient to be a successful homeschooling mom. You just need to show up every day with the armor of God and a heart to show them the way to wholeness and reliance upon Jesus. Lie 4 is similar. Your kids will always like each other. Another one perpetuated by the socials. You've seen them, the perfect reels with children laughing and playing together. Nowhere in that poster's feed did she show the hours that she spent working on their character. The million times a day her kids have fought over whose pencil or cup or stapler that is. We at my house get the added input of said pencil being ripped out of the other child's hand, perhaps thrown across the room, sometimes broken in half. Where is that reel? But I'm not coming down on the moms who post that either, because we all need to feel like we won at something. So maybe that was the only 5 minutes that her kids weren't bickering that day, and she wanted to savor it and show it to the world and say, see, I got 5 minutes today of this. Isn't it amazing? But honesty prevails on this podcast. My kids and I sometimes spend more time speaking about putting a sibling first or giving a pencil to someone else than we do getting along. That's okay. They are developing skills for other relationships, and they are growing as siblings. They will definitely know one another better than if they went to brick and mortar school. This hopefully will breed better relationships when they are older, but your kids are their own people. Said, as Charlotte Mason puts it, your children are born persons. 1 or 2, they may just tolerate each other. Some of them may be caustic in general. This is not on you or on homeschooling. Work with them, pray for them, make them the humans that Christ wants them to be. Give them the freedom and support to grow into those adults. But pull the pencils away and work with your kids when it gets out of hand, because it will. Oh, and put your pencils or your gel pens or your special things in a special case so you don't have to have the same fights as your kids. Lie 5. You have to be a certified teacher. Or you're a teacher, so it's easier for you. Or you have to replicate school perfectly or your kids won't get into college. So let me bear witness. I am not a certified teacher. I am a teacher of all things. I feel confident in my abilities, but I am not educated in any way to teach. So let me produce some hearsay to you now. I have 2 friends who are certified teachers. From both of them, almost verbatim, I have heard this. Quote, I was a teacher, so I found it to be so much harder to teach my own kids. Most of my education to become certified was spent in crowd control, ways to manage the classroom. And for me, obviously, most of this doesn't translate to homeschooling. End quote. A veteran homeschool mom who has graduated several children and whom I've looked up to for many years shared it this way. Quote, I spent the first few years of my homeschooling journey unlearning what I had been taught. End quote. You don't need to be a teacher, certified or otherwise, to school your children. God has endowed each of you with special and amazing gifts. He chose you. Yes, hear me. You and only you to be your children's parent. He called you to homeschool. Therefore, you are the perfect teacher for your children. You have gifts and a way of helping them that no one else could. Maybe someone could communicate a scientific principle better, but in this age of documentaries and YouTube, find that person if you need it for one lesson. You are who your children need. That same homeschool mom who spoke about unlearning what she had been taught said this, the Lord graciously walked me to the realization that I was the perfect teacher for the children that he gave me. End quote. Let the Lord walk you there in your teaching journey. It took me a while to get there, so I understand, but do it. Go there. Trust the Lord and his calling on your life. You are better than any certified teacher to school your kids, and in the end, your children will be better for it by light years. Lie 6. You have to homeschool this way, or it's wrong. Okay, let's break this down. There's Charlotte Mason methodology, classical, school at home, unschooling. There's Montessori, unit studies, eclectic, and probably a host of others. And the followers of each of these are pretty passionate. I'm a passionate Charlotte Mason homeschooler, but that's from my house. I have had to recognize it isn't perfect for every type of learner. Guess what? My oldest couldn't keep up with the rigorous reading schedule, and we had to switch to certain subjects with workbook-style learning for his later years. Being that he was my first, did this make me feel like a failure. And I carried that feeling of failure for a while. My youngest? He needs more structured and repetitive grammar program to learn those persnickety grammar rules. Perhaps I don't talk about this at my CM co-op or in the company of other passionate CM advocates, but it's truth for many of us. For a certain type of learner, each form of schooling is perfect. For other types of learners, it isn't. The way to homeschool each of your children is the way that's right for them. It's okay to deviate from a philosophy. That doesn't make it wrong. You will be successful if you pay attention to your child, if you are a detective of your child and don't pay attention to some philosophy. Use each as a method, not a system, to use Charlotte Mason's words. And totally jump ship if you feel like you're trying to bail out without a bucket. You may come back later, you may not. It isn't wrong. A lie that I have perpetuated upon myself is that you need to look a certain way to be a homeschooler. You need to dress maybe Amish or in clothes you made yourself from drapes. You need to make sourdough and bake all day long and sing in the kitchen with birds flying around you. None of this is true. There is every type of homeschooling mom out there. So be free to be you and share with others who will support you being yourself. Lie 7. Homeschooling solves all of the typical problems of childhood. Rebellion, peer pressure, bad choices. It's a special formula to produce good kids that love the Lord. Okay, ladies, this one followed me around like a rabid dog, stealing moments of joy by reminding me of the last night or whenever else I had witnessed my children do something that I had clearly advised against. I return to an earlier statement when we were speaking about our children all getting along. Children are born persons. This needs to be a mantra. Our kids, they're going to go through bad choices. They're going to go through rebellion. They need to find Christ for themselves, not because we have a relationship with Jesus, but because they come to a place where they do. Just because they're homeschooled does not mean they will make the right decision either. This is not your fault. Did you make some mistakes? Definitely. But guess what? Every one of us, including your children, choose for themselves. This lie that homeschooling was some perfect formula perpetuated itself in my heart constantly. I was crushed by feelings of failure as my oldest dealt with some addictive behavior, or when he went through a girl crazy phase, when my second board picked up cursing when he was angry. Yes, sure, there is neurodivergence, but this wasn't enough for me to free myself from blame. Why did my shelter not prove enough? What had I done wrong, since homeschooled kids weren't supposed to deal with these issues? Lies, lies, all lies. Homeschooled kids walk through rebellion like any other child from a loving home. Homeschooled kids, they make bad choices. When I first moved to Idaho and started homeschooling, a very well-respected homeschool leader in the community went on a diatribe with me one day about some children that her seemingly perfect homeschool daughter had babysat for. So these children had lied to her daughter. And this mom went on and on about how disappointed she was in that mother for the fact that her children had been liars to the babysitting daughter. This ate at me for years as I saw my children lie, corrected them only to have them try it again for another situation. Now, through the eyes of maturity and a lot of prayer, I try to effort to save you from feeling this way. So I'm not sure if her daughter never lied, never struggled, because I didn't remain friends with her, and I'm thankful for that. But my kids, they struggle. My kids did lie. They sometimes still do. Every friend that confides in me, hey, their kids lie too. Their kids struggle. Their kids have emotional breakdowns. Their kids sometimes break a pencil. Homeschooling doesn't turn out perfect children. It turns out kids who have been loved in the very best way their parents knew how. It isn't a magic force field to protect our kids from the world. I will pray for you. Please pray for me too. Because there are parts of the world that are singing their siren song to my kids right now. And homeschooling didn't protect them from that. But it isn't my fault. It's the devil's. He's good at what he does, but he's also an idiot, and he gets defeated in the end. So, pray. That's the only protection that truly wins in the end, every time. And remember, they will make their own decisions. Just love them, love them, love them, and pray. Our final lie today is one that I know hurts so many homeschooling parents, and in some ways encompasses all the other lies that we've gone over. This lie is that you are alone. Whatever you are going through, whatever struggles you're having, you're the only one going through it, and you are alone. Ladies, if you never listen to me again, if you only hear one thing from this episode, hear this. You are not alone. Everything you are going through, someone else has gone through it. It isn't your fault. Keep learning. Keep growing. Don't stand still, but reach out and share. Be honest. Don't put up a front. Reach out to those around you so you can hear from them how not alone you are. Hopefully some of my vulnerability has helped you also. Putting it out there, it's hard. It's hard for me. I know it's hard for you. But maybe by me or you sharing some of these struggles that you feel so alone in, you'll touch someone else's heart and help them to hear the truth. They are not alone either. I don't judge you. Some may, but I don't. And the ones who do, we need to realize they're probably going through their own things that they are being crushed by. Pray for them and keep sharing. You are not alone. Let's finish up this episode with some much needed truth. You are called to homeschool. You can do this. Find support. Listen to my podcast number 13 about finding your squad. Write me so I can help support you. I truly do believe in you. I don't just say that. Thank you for listening today. Come follow me on Instagram at The Colorful Homeschooler. Please give me 5 stars and subscribe to the show on your favorite podcasting platform. New episodes are back out every Tuesday. If you could, please take a minute and write a review on whatever platform you're listening on. It does make a huge difference in how the algorithm pushes my podcast out to others who are just generally searching for a homeschooling podcast. If this helped you, share it with a friend and write me anytime. Let me know how things are going. Remember all, I believe in you.